On my podium here. Good afternoon. Thank you all for your patience. I'm Chief Todd Raybuck, T-O-D-D-R-A-Y. You want me to start over? Chief Todd Raybuck, R-A-Y-B-U-C-K. I'm the Chief of Police for the Kauai Police Department. Before I give a brief statement and introduce the prosecuting attorney, Justin Collar, I want to just kind of give you a little bit of a heads up on how this press conference will run. If you could silence your phones, that'd be fantastic. What I'll do is provide a brief statement of what we have done here at the Kauai Police Department in the last couple of days and what our role has been. And then the prosecuting attorney, Justin Collar, will come up and provide you some information there. What I want to explain to you all, because I know that there's quite a bit of interest in this case and what's going on with the investigation, I want to make it clear before we start that we are not the primary agencies responsible for this investigation. This investigation is being conducted by the Rexburg Police Department and the Madison County Prosecutor's Office, and they are the ones that are conducting this investigation. Our responsibility has only been to support those entities and to carry out what legal issues and requests that they have for us on our end. So to that end, all I can tell you is that please take that into a consideration when we give you an opportunity to ask questions, to limit those questions to what it pertains to here on Kauai and not necessarily regarding the investigation and the matters involving the investigation on the mainland, because we can't answer that. Okay? So back in December of 2019, the Kauai Police Department was conducted. Let me start that all over for you. Who's live?
We all are.
Oh, fantastic. Back in December of 2019, the Kauai Police Department was contacted by the Rexburg Police Department requesting our assistance to see if we could locate Lori Vallow and her husband, Chad Daybell. We were able to identify that they were here on the island. Subsequently, the police department, Rexburg Police Department, requested our assistance in providing an order to compel Lori Vallow to produce her children in Madison County. The Kauai Police Department did in fact find and produce that order to compel, and as you all know, she subsequently failed to do so. In addition, the Kauai Police Department, through the affidavit in support of the investigators in the Rexburg Police Department, were requested to serve a search warrant on the residence where the Daybells were residing, as well as the vehicle that they were operating. We did enforce that search warrant, and all of the information that was gleaned from that search warrant was provided to Rexburg PD. Now, obviously, yesterday, we received information from the Madison County jurisdiction courts through the Rexburg Police Department that a $5 million warrant was issued for Lori Vallow's arrest. That included the ability for the Kauai Police Department to take Lori Vallow into custody on the following charges, according to the warrant: 2 felony counts of desertion, and non-support of dependent children, resisting or obstructing officers, criminal solicitation to commit a crime, and contempt of court. Lori Vallow was taken into custody without any incident by detectives of the Kauai Police Department. She was transported here to the Kauai Police Department headquarters and booked into our cell block, where she stayed until she got taken to her court appearance earlier this morning. She was taken in custody on Queen Emma Drive in Princeville, Kauai, and that was through our police detectives. After the court hearing, she was transferred by the state sheriffs into the custody of the Kauai Community Correction Center, where she will remain throughout the time frame of her court proceedings. So what I want to reiterate is that we are all hopeful that we are able to locate the missing children, Tylee and JJ, and we appreciate the community support. We appreciate the media's interest in this story and helping all the investigators try to locate these missing children. At this time, I'd like to introduce Prosecuting Attorney Justin Collar so he can provide you with his statement.
My name is Justin Kohler. I'm the prosecuting attorney for the County of Kauai. I'm sure all of you were across the street for court and saw exactly what happened. So that's what happened. And as Chief mentioned, we're not the lead on this case. Our position has always been, we're here, call upon us, we'll assist in any way we can. And the extradition proceeding concerns simply the mechanics of getting Ms. Vallow from here back to Idaho. The underlying substance or merits of the case involving the children will not be litigated here on Kauai. The extradition proceedings, what she can contest during these proceedings basically is the legality of the arrest, and really that's about it. So the hearing on March 2nd will be for the purposes of identifying Lori Vallow, the person here in custody, as being the same person who is named on the warrant that came here from Idaho. So that is the purpose of that hearing. And if that is successfully achieved, then she will be commanded into the custody of the Idaho personnel once we receive the governor's warrant and have it domesticated by our governor here in Hawaii. So that's about the extent of our involvement in the case. I join in the chief's statement that hopefully our involvement in this process can lead to some kind of just resolution to this case. And, of course, we are also hoping against hope that Tylee and JJ are out there somewhere and will be reunited with their other family members at some point. So I don't have anything else to add, Chief.
I would just like to conclude before we begin with questions that I want to thank the Rexburg Police Department for the incredible amount of work and effort they've put into this case. They've been working tirelessly to locate Tylee and JJ, and I know that in today's modern world that we expect police work to solve everything in 48 hours. Unfortunately, that's not the case, especially with a case that has this many challenges ahead of it. And so I just want to thank the Rexburg Police Department for all of their work and their efforts. And I also want to thank all of my detectives and personnel here at the Kauai Police Department for the hard work and professionalism they have done in this case to support the investigation on the mainland. So with that, we'll open it up for a few questions.
Chief, Jonathan Miglio with CBS News. The couple have been island hopping recently. At the time of this arrest, any indication they were planning to leave Hawaii, go somewhere else?
I have no information that they had any desire to leave.
And can you explain why Chad Daybell was not arrested, why it was just Lori Vallow?
So as I mentioned earlier, this investigation is being conducted in the mainland. We have no local charges or concerns that there's criminal activity that's occurred here in Hawaii or on Kauai. And so we are acting in response to the legal matters and the warrants that come from the Rexburg authorities or Madison County authorities, and we have not received any order that Chad Daybell is part of the investigation or at this time necessarily under arrest. So until such time that they ask for our assistance, we have nothing here locally to take him into custody for.
During the hearing earlier today, defense had expressed some concerns that Vallow was in fact questioned by Idaho PD while in Kauai Police custody. Is that true, and does that violate any laws?
I'm not going to comment on what our investigative assistance to the Rexburg Police Department has been.
Was Chad Daybell questioned?
I'm not going to comment on the investigation and what's been taking place.
Hi, Stephanie Sheena with the Guardian News. I just want to ask if Chad Daybell has been summoned by the Idaho to stay on the island, or is he free to go as he pleads?
At this time, there are no criminal charges pending. He's able to move about as he wishes.
Thank you.
Any signs of the children here in Kauai?
So the last sighting that I have been aware of happened in the mainland, and there has been no sighting since that sighting here in the on Kauai or in the state. And so at this time, we don't believe that there is any connection to the children being here.
The people you folks are going to call for the March 2nd hearing, is it like just people in your community in Idaho, grandparents? Who exactly are the candidates on the chosen to be a part of that hearing?
We're working on determining that, and that's all we can say at this point, but we will call the sufficient witnesses necessary to identify the person in custody as being the person named on the Idaho warrant.
And were you satisfied that Pakinaki did not lower her bail?
I was pleased that she certainly did not grant the defense's request. Yeah, as I stated in court, I believed the case would be appropriate for remanding without bail being set, but I understand the judge has that discretion, and I'm not complaining about her decision.
Can you talk about how long it takes for the governor's warrant process to follow through?
It depends on the availability of staff to process the warrant. It works different in different states. It depends on their process for getting the warrant in front of the governor. It depends on how quickly their attorney general's office works. We've been in close contact with Madison County prosecutors throughout this process. I want to commend their efforts. They have been absolutely on top of things and thoroughly professional, and I'm confident that the governor's warrant will be secured in an expeditious fashion.
Is this a matter of days or is it a matter of weeks?
It's a matter of how quickly they can get it in front of their governor, and I have not worked with the Idaho governor before, so I'm hoping that we can get it done quickly.
So unclear at this point whether you'll have it by the next hearing on March 2nd.
It is unclear. Under the statute, we have 30 days with a possible 60-day extension, so we have up to 90 days to secure the governor's warrant and have that served. We do not hope or expect that it will take that long.
Can she petition to resist the extradition process, and how long might that take?
Pursuant to the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act, which is the law in Hawaii and in most states, what she can contest in this proceeding is her identification and the legality of the arrest. So those are the only two issues at stake in this hearing.
We'll take two more questions.
Chief. In terms of, can you confirm that Tylee's phone was found during the warrant search, and also whether there were any activities during that time?
No.
Speaking broadly, just with your history carrying out investigations, you've been doing it for a long time. I know as part of the warrant, it was revealed that records show, financial records, that child care has not been paid for since the kids have gone missing in September. JJ's medication, his autism medication, has not been filled since September. For people that are watching this all around the country and we're all trying to figure this out, what do those clues laid out in that warrant mean to you?
That was a great attempt to get me to speak about the investigation that's occurring on the mainland, which I'm not going to do. So, Ashley, last question.
Chief, we're hearing that Lori will be isolated in her cell for her own protection. Is that true?
So she's been moved to the Kauai Community Correctional Center. It's their responsibility to determine how she should be properly housed, and so I can't answer that question. Thank you very much for all your time and attention. Appreciate you guys and your interest. Thank you.
Thank you.